Hey, we're live. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Mike Rowe here. Mike Rowe channel. Hope everybody's doing good. Just got back from the gym, so I'm eating some fruit. Apologize. I'm gonna be eating fruit during this live. Y'all gonna have to deal with it. I hope nobody gets hurt in the making of this film. But how's it going, everybody? I hope everybody's doing good out there. I wanted everybody to know the great, wonderful things that are coming. Oh, looks like the connection's going bad. What's going on? Wait before I get started here. Hope everybody's doing good, feeling good. Oh, I wanted to do some incense. Hold on. Let's get some incense going. Put this over here. Put that over there. What we're gonna do today? I'm doing one of my favorites. Patchouli. You guys heard of patchouli? I love this one. Like this, like patchouli is like a cologne I would like wear. I don't like cologne. How's it? It's not that they smell bad, it's just it's too much with a lot of that stuff. You gotta get the natural. Just rub some patchouli herbs all over me. It's like Tommy Boy. Pine tree perfume. All right, so today we talk about piece by piece. Titled this one. It's amazing to see such a wonderful world that's being created. I feel like a lot of times people lose sight of that. One thing I can attest for is talking about so many things and being involved in so many things in life like we all are. We always get wrapped up, and I'm always saying, remember to let it go, forget about it, do your own thing, find your peace, learn how to be quiet, learn how to sit and not have to have stuff, or not have to have entertainment, or not have to be doing something all the time. And it's not that we shouldn't be doing something, because we definitely have it a lot more easy now to not be able to not have to do something. We can sit, watch TV all day, stuff like this. Whereas in years ago, I shared a post, Master Shi, talking about, the people in the Stone Age didn't suffer from depression because they were too busy doing stuff. They had to build, they had to use their bodies, and that's why all this disease, all this confusion, all this, all of this stuff that comes from just, not taking care of yourself, taking care, of your mind, your body, your soul. So it's really, it's always really important. But it's neat to see how everybody's coming together at this point in time. And what came to me is really how everyone, and I've said this before, but just how the discussions are happening now, how people are coming out now more, they're saying more truths, whether it's their truth or it's anybody's truth. And it's so important that we continue to move forward in holding the light and holding the space for everybody, and taking care of yourselves the best way you can do that. It's amazing. Everybody, people are now going to have to, the world, I guess we could put this in one way. Oh wait, internet, come on, Wi-Fi. I got plenty of Wi-Fi over here. What's it doing? Oh, it's reloading some of my other pages. Why? What? Get out of here. 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 Okay. Maybe it'll work now. That's weird. Nope, still one bar. Come on, StreamYard. I believe in you. Take this moment to eat another fruit real quick. And it's back. All right. People are going to have to hear things that they're not going to want to hear. People are going to have to deal with things that they don't want to deal with and that don't fit their paradigm, their narrative. And this has been happening for a while. Anybody in the spiritual path, all you guys, all this stuff. But it's so important to recognize what's actually happening and what we're doing. I'll be the first one. Put myself out here for everybody to be human, to be not human, to be all these things, and to really just talk about them all. So it's interesting. The truths that are coming out, the fact that people are going to have to, admit, things that they might not want to admit because it hasn't gone with the narratives that we've been all being told and sold and lied to about. So there's a lot of this stuff coming out of the woodwork, and I don't necessarily mean just recent things, but a lot of these concepts have been around for such a long time. Powers that be, ruling, elite groups have been around for a long time. So it's why this is such an amazing time, and it's so significant, and it's so it's awesome to see, because it's all happening. People want it. I remember, when I first was waking up, whatever, more so getting set on my path, really downloading a lot of stuff, activations, and it's always just like the Groundhog's Day, which I'm always talking about. It's this has been going on for a really long time, all these things, and we haven't had the opportunities to really come together as people like we do now. Anything can be used for good or bad, but people are coming together more now than they ever have been. The more honest people become, the more self-love people start to give themselves, and thus be able to be themselves more and be honest about who they are and what they want and what their goals are and what this and this, on every level. All that stuff's coming out, not just on personal levels, but on global, governmental, country levels, political levels, business levels, all the levels. Everybody's coming home in a sense to whatever that is for them. But it's really important to keep that light alive, keep that spark, that everybody has, because there's so much going on right now, and there's so much to talk about. There's so much positive, there's so much negative, and at the end of the day, it all just comes up to us all being the best that we can be in the young, right? So do that for yourself, do that for others, and give love and be love. One thing, like, with doing Qigong and Tai Chi and stuff like this, it's, you want to be able to hold a position and maintain it and move slow and move deliberately and calmly and all of these things. Why are you blowing directly at my face? I gotta put it over here. I knew I'd have to put you elsewhere. You want to be able to do all the things in a positive way. So a good example is like communication, how I always like to talk about all the things and talk about this side or talk about that side or talk about, my intention is to do it in the most laughing way that I can, in the happiest way, and things like this. So, because a lot of these things are so triggering for people, myself included, depending on what it is. Right. But in every situation, you got to pause and say, well, is there something I can do? Is there, am I supposed to, are you really, all of these questions. And this is why slowing down, getting in touch and in tune with yourself as intimately as you can is the best way to figure out what it all means to you, or what you want it to mean, and being a creator of your life, being a creator of anything. You have that ability, you have that power, you're the one who gets to decide. And so this world is really opening up to all the things that are out there, I think, in a big way. And the only people, I want to say non-believers, normies, we don't want to label them, but, even they're having to, see a lot of this stuff and face a lot of this stuff. And actually, the biggest argument that they have, in a sense, is, oh, you believe all that stuff, well, it's not true. And then meanwhile they go and they're reading Bibles, or something like that. So it's really, there's so many levels that are coming together right now, and this is all happening piece by piece, right? And um, there's just going to be a lot coming down the pipeline. But the more of us that are aware of this, and the more of us that can buffer it, just myself having to be a buffer for friends and for family, and teaching things, and having to be a voice of reason and wisdom and anything in life that we all have to do, just in everyday situations. Even just getting a project done for work or something. Just thinking reasonably, being fair. All of these things that are going to start to matter more and more and more and more and more. And this is what the change is all about. Um, Building businesses, right? Setting up systems so that we can help the world, so the world can be helped. That's what everybody's been talking about for the longest time. It's what the tax money maybe isn't doing, or is doing, whatever country you live, people aren't doing this and that. And so it comes down to you. It comes down to me. It comes down to people who really want to create anything in life, and not just for your own personal gain, but for the benefit of all people on the planet, and all beings, on the planet. To really hold the light in this place means it's time to get up, get off your behind, and get it moving, and doing the things that will help take you there, not just being there temporarily, but to get there fully and all the time, and this and this. And then again, it's, piece by piece that we have to keep doing these things. I did write some stuff down. I wonder if I still have it here. Um, yeah. Basically, as all these things come out, excuse me, everybody's just going to go through it more and more and more. And so holding the light is really, but it's amazing to see everybody connecting. And that's really what I wanted to just focus this one on, is how much love there really is out in the world. How many people, there's people all over the world who don't feel heard, myself included, as a kid growing up, and things like this, right? Because we live in a world of all these labels. You're not smart because you're a kid, or you don't know anything because you're a kid, or little things like that, which we all go through because we're all kids at some point, and we always have adults and stuff like this. So it's really getting past the concept of any of that stuff, like really finally officially. Now, sure, does the kid have as much experience on earth, in this life? No. But that doesn't mean that they don't have wisdom. They don't know, they can know stuff that maybe you don't know, anything like this. We have to get past all the dogmas of all the things, and all the this incessant need to control and understand everything, when the way you understand it and the way you learn to control it is when you stop trying to control it, because it's a dance, right? We're not here to just force our will upon this whole place. It's the whole issue is everybody's fighting for something they think is different, which it might be, in the moment or something. But which way do we go, left or right? Well, left is this stuff, right is that stuff, so let's but ultimately, when the goal is together to get to the best place for everyone involved, it's a win-win. The idea of winning and losing, it's just it shouldn't even be a thing. So there's a lot of basic things like that people know, that are unsure how to implement it. Like, how can I save the world? How can one person, this and this, right? But every time we're going along with the narrative, we're essentially just making it stronger. So this is why a lot of what has to happen now, and what is happening now, is the mentality and the mindset of people has to change, and that has to happen first, right? It's like the story of Humpty Dumpty, right? Shout out Humpty Dumpty. They said all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again, because he has to put himself together again. We can only be there to help, right? So I think that there's more to that one than just give up, on Humpty, poor Humpty. But he has to find a way to put himself back together, just like any of us have to. So there's a lot of things out there that are just going to be coming and cracking the eggs of people, cracking people's shells wide open, and it's been a long time coming. And Spirit has taken all the time and patience that it could ever and will continue to do so, to make sure it's as smooth of a transition as it can possibly be, wherever you're going. Right, that's always the case. You want to be, ready for it as much as you can. And so that's what everybody's getting prepped for, and we all know that. We got new moon coming up. Very important to ground yourself. This is key. They wanted me to mention lower 3 chakras, feed them with your heart, right? And just align. We got right full moon. Full moon is the new moon. It's full moon, right? It's the end of the month. It's full moon. I don't know. I forget. There's too many of them coming in. But the energy is definitely here, and it's just going to keep pouring in. So, stick with what works for you. I think there's just so much confusion out there, and once you just put it all down, you can put all the pieces together where they go piece by piece, guys, piece by piece. Remember that, piece by piece, because there's a lot of layers to this whole spiritual thing that people talk about. So then thus we're creating and we're giving more energy to, we all definitely need to heal on every level, inner child, older child, whatever. But the reality of that is knowing that you already are healed, right? And then going from there, right? Just as, I mention all the time, learning too many things, getting too far out in the waters, right? Learning this, learning that, and then, well, come on back, you got reality. It's even like meditating or spiritual practice. If you do it too often and you don't come back into your body and make sure your body is okay, you're going to float off into space and leave your body behind. And that's not the goal either. I remember talking about that years ago. The importance, like the Kundalini yoga. I think that's what I was talking about, where, which is great. And a lot of people do that, but then you're shooting all your energy up into your head, and then you're going to burn out your adrenals. So you definitely want to bring it back in. It's not that you can't do it. It's just you have to come back in. You have to come back into the body. And the key to that is making your body happy. If your body is your home, is your earth for your soul, then you have to keep it happy. You have to keep it positive. You have to keep it light. You have to keep it everything like we would want to do for the earth. Learning to take care of the earth, learning to take care of each other is all about learning how to take care of yourself first, right? And that's really what everybody has to do. That's all we have to do. And everybody's got their own way of doing it. Everybody's got their own thing that they like. And everybody's got their own, but it's, it's kind of like going out, meeting people, whatever. And then it usually gets to that point. So what do you do? What do you do? What do you, and then people identify with their jobs, or they identify with this, or they identify with that, because when I think of myself, I think so non-descriptive of myself, if I were to explain, that it's just like, well, I mean, I do a lot of stuff, like, I do anything, but the idea being that, like, we only pick certain things and then we only do those things, or because who of us isn't down to do more stuff? I mean, or, go here, go there, like do all kinds of fun stuff. And that's the paradox of the, how we have fun and what we do and what we choose to do, because it's up to the people. It's not about the place necessarily as it is the people. Like you always say, it's always or I've always said, it's the company that you're with. When this is all said and done, and you look back on life and whatever, it's all about the moments that we have with each other. That's what everything's about. That's why I'll always keep fighting for humanity, you know, for us to be able to just hang out and not get offended all the time, with what everybody's saying. Yeah. People talking to each other and looking at each other like we're, these foreign alien beings who we're all here talking, like the hippies, right, in the 60s, whatever, they were all like peace and love. And then, like, it lasted for a while because duh, and then all of a sudden, they had to shut it down, like, and like, how are you going to argue with the hippie? Like, I don't even get it. Like, oh, he hugs trees, so what? You can't listen to him? Like, you can't, like, the whole point of this control, man, is like everybody's trying to be free and be themselves and express themselves, and then everybody else is like telling you no, or telling them no, or telling them, right, all the arguing, all of this, all of that. I mean, we got to have debates. We're going to have debates. We're going to have arguments. It's going to happen, right? But at the end of the day, I love you, you love me. We have, or at least respect each other, to see the difference. So seeing the state of the world, as it's been for a while, and seeing as it is now, the people got some growing up to do. In all honesty, they got to start asking the big questions to themselves, to spirit, to whatever. What does life mean to you? And that's what we have to get back to, because the more, what's up, B-Rave, one love, the more we get back to that, that's going to fix everything, from the inside out. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to take the outside in planet and make it inside out again. And that's exactly what's happening, no matter how you look at it. So cool. What else? There are going to be big changes within the next few years, in the financial sector. And what I think is important is that people don't get caught in the new one. So the concept that we're going to have a new system that's going to fix everything and do this and do that, well, that's exactly how every other system before it was marketed. No new system that some countries like did. I mean, well, I don't say none of them. I gotta stop saying all or nothing words, but we have to be careful what we're going to do and where we're going to go and how we're going to do it. It's like, you can make a lot of money, the central banks, whatever, but then you want to be able to take it out and actually have assets, have, things like this. So everybody's talking gold, everybody's talking silver, and there's a lot of things that, point to that being a thing. And with cryptocurrencies, just the technology, that's definitely going to be a part of it too. But the way that it's all going to work out and how it's going to be implemented, we're going to have to wait in order to see how it all happens, because the BRICS are already leaving the note. It's not a real dollar even. It's a Federal Reserve note. We say the dollar. It's not even really the U.S. dollar. It's just a Federal Reserve note. And what may happen is we're going to go back to, barter and trade and things like this, right? Where people, trade with whatever they want, buy it with whatever you want. It's going to be up to the owners. It's going to be up to this, it's going to be up to that. And that's because of the faith of the dollar just being lost. But if we just go into another system that's controlled by the whole whatever rulers, whoever had the money in the first place, that's not it. So the path is still not going to be like, or the path is still going to be you doing it for yourself, us do boots on the ground, the ones who you've been waiting for. You have to do it. And aligning with that reality means you got to choose what it means to you and what you want to do, what it really means. Like the past pandemic, all this stuff's going on. People are realizing what's really important. And a lot of people are speaking out more now than ever. and more people are going to be triggered than ever. And that's just going to be a part of it. But there's no reason to worry about those things, if you are being, and this is why communication is so important. I say it all the time. As beings, even in relationships and situationships, in all kinds of relationships, works and relationships and works and relation, anything, family, friends, uh, we have to communicate better. We have to allow each other to communicate better. We have to stop living in the superficial way. And what I mean by that is thinking you know somebody by the way they dress or something like that, right? Like how many tattoos do they got? How many piercings do they have? I've met the coolest people that have full tattoos, you know what I mean? Tons of piercing, right? And I've met complete mean people who have none. So who's to say who's a good guy? Who's to say who's a bad guy? So we have to get past the superficiality of what we think we all are and who we think people are, and judging people and this and that, and identifying with something, or what I identify with is being a multidimensional, eternal consciousness has this vessel right now. It goes so far beyond all of the snickering and all the fighting and all the arguments. It's like laws and bills when they try to pass these things. True that. Like they're trying to write laws that I would never even think to even write about. Like who's this is like this shouldn't even be up on the board for this. Like this has nothing to do with anything. You know what I mean? Needing to change, pronouns so people can feel less offended. That means the people need to work on themselves. I'm sorry to break it to you. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with having to make a law. You know what I mean? Or like gay marriage, right? Like, duh, they should have always been able to get married if they want to. Who the hell cares? You know what I mean? Like, it's just weird. So we have to make laws, like the whole laws, these people and their laws, they really got to stop. I don't know what it is about laws that people just assume are like, like the end all be all of creation, because that's not how creation happens. That's not how life grows. Eventually you got to change it, and update the law or do this or do that. Like I remember reading one time, like a bunch of different laws from like all these different decades, and there was one like in the 20s or something. I don't even know if it was the 20s, but it was like you can't whistle while walking down the street on the sidewalk, like on a Sunday, right? And so then you think about, well, like why, like how ridiculous that is nowadays. But back then they didn't have cars, they didn't have, right, the streets were probably full of people going about their business, and everyone's whistling on this, right? So it's like, so it makes a little more sense, like and that's a funny one, because that's like a common courtesy issue. But when I'm talking about like some of these other, the fact that we need them to be laws, it's just like people are crying out to be able to just be themselves, and they're forgetting to just be themselves. You don't need a law to be yourself. You were born here, and you can do and be however you want to be. Of course, if you're going to hurt people, then you're going to face consequences. Or if you're going to rip people off and stuff like this, yeah, sure. But it's those laws are implied. They should be implied. So all this creating of something, that piece of papers that people need to listen to or abide by, it's just weird to me. Like Constitution's great, America's Constitution, Declaration of Independence, great. I mean, it's great. But the fact that we need it, that just tells me we got way more problems than needing to worry about a piece of paper. And the fact is people who don't care about those laws, they're not going to care if it's a piece of paper, or not. And then we say, well, that gives us the right to then prosecute. That's like, piece of paper didn't give you the right to prosecute. What that person did that was jacked up gave us all, with a half of a conscience, the right to slap the back of his head slap him upside his head and lock him up. We don't need, it's too much getting people who are doing wrong, trying to get them off, right? Defense lawyers, whatever. Like, shout out OJ, right? That was a classic one. I don't know. It's not my business whether he did or not, but it's just like, I don't understand how people can live in that world and like figure it out, right? Because you can't. They just keep stacking more laws, more rules, more this, more that, more that, more this. And look at us. Look at the world, man. And the one thing that makes it all work is people, right? That's what makes it all work. That time the kid steals a candy bar from the store, and you catch him, and then he's just like, please, you know, like, I haven't eaten in 12 days, or something, right? And then you let him go, right? Like, it's okay. What if the cop was there? He would have took him in right off the bat. But as a store owner, you gotta be like, no, I'm not pressing charges. It's okay. Then you got to explain it to the committee and the board why you lost, $3 or $2 on on the candy bar because your numbers don't add up. These numbers aren't gonna add up as long as we're stuck with Federal Reserves and central banks. It's never gonna add up. Never has. We've been in debt for how long? Anyways, we get going on all that stuff over and over and over again. But let's pull some cards. I'm gonna start and do some Crow Tarot. I gotta go eat. It's almost dinner time. I got the light like right in my face out that window, so I can everything's dark. This computer's dark. Hold on. Turn the brightness up. Duh. It's like all the way up almost. Okay, hold on. Feelings and truth don't mix well. Yeah, or often, I should say, right? And that's why there's so many healing practices and so many healing modalities out there that all it has to do is just like, we're energy. So have good energy, say the words, do the mantra, but like people and everybody's doing what they can do to cope, right? In a tough world, in a fast-paced world. Like I say, the guy comes home, anybody comes home from work every night, watch the game, grab a 6-pack, there's nothing wrong with that. He's just trying to cope, with a crazy world, and like anything, if you do it too much, it'll bog you down. So you got to clear yourself of all that. And that's the whole thing. The more clear we can be consistently, the more powerful and the faster all this is going to happen, because then we're listening, we're hearing, we're understanding more. We're not judging people and things and all this stuff. We're not caring about ego, things like this, right? The whole purpose is to just make it work for everybody. Help yourself, help others. That's what we're all doing here. Shout out to everybody, right? Our ancestors, ones, who had to live in harsher times, whatever. It's we're all just making it work, and we're all the stewards of the next phase, of whatever it is that we're going through, whatever. Whether you're an indigo or whether you're rainbow or crystalline or whatever, we're all essentially those things for our generation, for that generation that we're here. We're always pushing the envelope forward. And so the only constant in life is change. And a lot of people want to stay in their perception of the world, and when your perception is based off of superficial things, which we all can do, but, a post here, or a post there, or something you saw, and then assuming, or it's like idolizing celebrities, right? And stuff like this. And then you actually meet them, totally different people, or maybe you don't even like them in real life. They're great actors, but they're meanie faces, on the other side. I mean, it could be anything, but then people will still idolize them for a role they played in a made-up story. Meanwhile, we have a real story happening right now on Earth. It's just like, it's like relationships, or whatever. You get dressed up, look nice, you get all dolled up, whatever, in order to impress people, and then, but how much do you get to know about somebody? How much, like how much depth? Are we really looking at each other with those levels of superficiality? Oh, she's hot, and oh, he's handsome, and or whatever. Like there's so much more to us as beings. So identifying with who and what we are truly, which is what everybody wants, because everybody deep down knows who they are and feels inside that there's so much more. This is what we have to start doing. This is why the being nice and the kindness and holding the space is so key, because it's what allows people to do that, and allows yourself to do that. You got to, hold that space for yourself. Well, and it's being held for you also. It always is. And really stepping into your higher selves, becoming those aspects of yourself more and more, integrating them more, right? Activating your DNA, remembering who you are, remembering, and being able to communicate with yourself. Like, they say, don't talk to yourself. Well, you're not. I mean, you are. Okay, now we're getting confused. But it's not what they say it is. That's not it at all. We should be talking to ourselves all the time in a positive way, like Bruce Lee said, right? Your body doesn't know the difference, so speak the right words. You know what I mean? So let's see what's coming. Everybody's got to ground, because people need the energy. There's gonna be a lot more coming. We have this moon coming up. Everybody's gonna be manifesting, and so there's gonna be a lot more energy that's gonna start to permeate throughout the field, and we're gonna have to make sure that you are choosing the right thoughts and aligning with the right energy. So moving forward this week, we're going to see where this is all going to go. Maybe one more. There it is. They're both upside down. They're all three upside down. Oh no. What does that mean? I don't know. I don't like doing upside downs anyway. So we got Queen of Pentacles. Starting off, boom, all the stuff. Right? Here, I'll read it for you guys. Queen of Pentacles. Queen has come to you to offer loving energy. She is the quintessential mother, always at the ready to provide soul-soothing comfort that comes from her heart. Don't mistake her kindness and compassion for frailty. She is one tough bird who will do whatever it takes to ensure that those around her are well cared for. Queen of Pentacles brings security and balance to the situation, igniting powerful female energy that can handle it all. When this card comes to you, take a moment to bask in the love and security this merciful crow is offering you. It says when reversed, the Queen of Pentacles is the mother who smothers or pecks incessantly at her loved ones, including anyone who crosses her path. She is overbearing and controlling in all situations, from protecting the nest to foraging for food. It's her way or no way. The energy at this time is fear-based and manipulative, and as a result, there's a lack of harmony. Right. So that's exactly what we have to talk about, is this control, right? No matter what it is, because that's what's making everybody freak out. Like the pandemic. Why did everybody who said the whole world needs to get jabbed, right? Why were they doing any of that? Because of their overprotection. How many people out there who didn't want it just said, dude, leave me alone. I'll take the chances myself, right? With my own body, it's my own life, right? I don't want to do that. Take that, right? And I'll get over it. I'll get right. But everybody went fear mode, and they said, oh, well, you don't know how it works, and it's going to mutate, and blah blah blah, right? And then it mutated from a whole group of kids who actually were all jabbied. So again, it's people need to recognize, and they're going to recognize more and more, that we're multidimensional beings. It's been happening to people I know personally, in life, that they've been either forgetting that they've said things, and so we laugh, Alzheimer's, haha, or there's timelines that are shifting. So the timelines are still being woven at this moment, all of the time. They're being woven constantly. And that's why aligning is so important. And it doesn't matter what else you have to do. You have to put it all aside. You have to tell your body to be quiet. because all this stuff, it's why, too much television or too much, you know, anything in your ear or in your eyes, watching something, listening to something, too much of it, it's just putting more and more and more and more thoughts into your head that you don't need. And then when, for example, you watch a movie or a TV show and you enjoy it and you're laughing, right? We like it. So then we get that attachment. And then what do we want? We want to do those things all the time, and it's not about addictive personality. I mean, of course, that's happens to them probably more than anything, but it's that, we want to do fun things. So we find something that is fun, and then we constantly want to do it, and we forget to let that energy go, let it be free, let it come around again when it feels fresh, because then if you start doing something over and over and over, right, it gets less and less fun because you do it all the time. And it's or maybe not less and less fun, it all depends what you do. But eventually you got to let that reset happen. You got to remember we're here, and we're not just here for all this the stuff that's around us all the time. All the sure, have fun, go be entertained, do things like this. We all need to be doing that. But if it's not coming out of the core of your being, then it's not something that you're generating. It's something that's being generated for you. And so it's not the same, right? But we can resonate with it. So, because who doesn't love stories, right? I love stories. I love a good old story about stuff, right? But, like the celebrities, they're playing roles in made up stories. And, the world is addicted to, fascinated by them all, and we got to get back to realizing the real story that's happening now. Like I was saying, there's already the most epic story happening right now, and it has to do with your flesh and your face and your words and your life and everything that's going around, and not think of things as things. There we go. So we had the Queen of Pentacles. Now we got the Eight of Cups. The crow stands on the riverbank. Things as things. What did I say? I don't even know. The crow stands on the riverbank, her back to the gold cups that symbolize material wealth and possessions. She is ready to fly off and leave it all behind. The moon represents her shadow self and her true nature, one she tries to suppress but cannot deny. The Eight of Cups asks that you look inward and discover what is it that you want from life. There you go. What is important to you? This card suggests that although it will take considerable strength to let go and walk away, it may be necessary to achieve true happiness. So this was reversed. It says, although on the surface you want to build upon your spiritual self and move beyond materialism, the fear of losing out is preventing you from making a decision. As a result, you have become stagnant in your growth. And I think this happens for anybody on any path, spiritual, not spiritual. I mean, it is all a spiritual path, right? So, but, if you're just living your job, it's like you got a good job and, you just really want to quit or something, but it's paying the bills and it's really, like anything like that. And it's going to take work to transition yourself. But the work is a lot less difficult than people make it out to be. It's more of the attachment to the old. So the more you can unattach from that, then it allows you to have the space to create the new. But you also have to create the new, and you have to move into that. You have to move yourself energetically into where you want to be and what you want to be and how you want to be. And that's why, like they say, just because nobody's looking, do you still have your integrity? Are you still being honest? Are you still being like this just because no one's around? How do you act when you're by yourself? How do you treat yourself? How do you talk to yourself? What do you do? What do you do? What do you don't do? Whatever the case. And there's no judgment because you're loved no matter what. But if it's not resonating with you on the inside, or there's something that's going on, you have to sit with that. And you have to make adjustments to it, and I think that's what's great about, the Eight of Cups, I mean, it's having so many things, but not wanting them all or not needing them, and it's within it's within that you get all the things, it's one way to put it is if we've been doing it this way for so long and so many people have, and it hasn't totally worked out yet, well, then try something new. Maybe it's not really the way to do it, because everything's out there now. How to how to start a business from just your phone apps, and you don't ever have to do nothing, or it's or how to it's we're all we're too star spangled, starry eyed. You know what I mean? We're too. I always tease Star Spangled Banner but we're too starry eyed. And it doesn't mean we shouldn't look at life with that level of reverence and excitement and appreciation, right? And to do that, right, it's the kid. You have to unlock the child in your heart again. You have to be able to hear something that you might not like to hear and still love somebody for it, right? And the world's going through too much arguing right now, trust me. I'm a master arguer. Okay, like it's we can argue forever, but until Humpty wants to put himself back together, everybody's just going to be standing around arguing how to put him back together, right? We got to get back into the harmony of things, and how life works. And this is what's coming. This is what's happening. So that's why there's been so many predictions on all the changes that are going to happen in the world. People say, oh, we're going to go back to the Stone Age, or we're going to, and I don't think it's not going to happen like that, but it is going to go back to what's important and doing things and being active in your life. And these are all things that everybody wants. And so the more you resonate with these things, the incense, I don't want it, it's burning out. Almost done. It's so key moving forward to hold the light. Everybody wants to know the secret, and the secret, you're the secret. You're the super secret that's been here this whole time, that has all the ability that you could ever need, because you were born with it, as they say, to do and once you start doing those things, everything in your life just gets better. And it all, that's how this, it's what everybody talks about. So this whole thing works. Forgive yourself, forgive others, open up your heart, learn to listen with your mind, so you can see, you can hear, you can, predictions, or see the future, third eye, all that stuff, and be happy. Right. And that's in the belly, the big Buddha belly, or whatever, the Buddha belly, where you're content. Right. And there's so many things out there to do, and you just have to do it. It's like Tai Chi in the park decades ago was weird. See a guy in the park, like, what is that guy doing, a fruitcake over there? What's he doing over, and now it's completely normal. Right. So there's plenty of practices to do. It's just the fear that everybody has for any reason and anything. We're all going to die. Right. There's that pandemic fear, and you don't know. It's people saying you're spiritual or religious, and then instead believing all the fear that's out there. If you know that you're guided and your life's guided and it's all going to work out the way it's supposed to work out, and your guides got your back, and it's you can let go, and it's just fear. It's just fear again. It's a couple basic things that people just need to get past, and then we'll be good. But there's going to be a lot of people that are upset. There's going to be a lot. You talk to your dogs? Yeah, heck yeah. I love talking to animals, because I know they don't know what I'm saying, but they know that I don't know what they're saying, like the whole time, you know what I mean? So I talk all the time. I mean, and then people think, well, how are you going to communicate? Well, if you're not talking to them, they're never going to understand human language. The more we talk with our pets, right, the more the conscious we can all be communicating out here, right? We're limiting ourselves on too many levels, way too many levels. And then we have Two of Wands. There you go. The crows holding the wands do so with patience and balance. It takes skill and strength to maintain the world. When the wands come together, they create a spark that sets an idea in motion, one that has the power to create a path to success. These birds bring opportunities for travel, as well as the need to make life-changing decisions. Each journey offers the possibility of a new experience. The Two of Wands urges you to get out of your comfort zone, because your destiny is waiting. There you go. See, these cards I'm telling you, I swear It's like I almost handpicked them before I drew them. It was reversed, so it says, look for areas in your life where you are reluctant to make a decision or cannot prioritize your goals. Right, and I think that's what everybody's doing right now. So all of these were in reverse, but once again, they're just alluding to the phase that we're in, guys. That's why I like doing these updates, I guess you can call them. All right, piece by piece, go slow, take your time. I think I saw something. Yeah. Somebody who believed in Nasara, Jasara, and things like this. Not to say it's not a real thing. I'm not trying to go there. I've already talked about that enough. But they stopped paying their mortgage, and so they lost their house. Because they thought, the funds were going to come and everything was going to be okay, and it just kind of didn't. So it's going to be a step-by-step process, and the beauty of it all is we get to see it all before it even happens, and then and be a part of it and actually get to live through it. And the more you meditate, the more you focus, the more you get aligned, the more all of this just really starts to make sense as a bigger picture story. It's not limited to just this country or just that country or just this. There's all the beings are here. All of us want, everybody in the world, wants all this change to happen. In comparison to the few meanies that are out there, because they are not the majority, not even close. But it is a process, and everybody has to. It's like you got to earn it, right? But you've always had everything you need to earn it with, and then it's maintaining it for as long as you can, because that's what this whole thing is about, right? This school, the Earth School, right? It's we're still in school, and this is where the graduation and and this and all this stuff comes from, and getting your DNA, but only when you do this or you do that. So there's processes to it all. And taking care of your body is paramount, because you won't be able to, if everybody wants to manifest, right? We all want to manifest things. Our bodies are already here, so you already are manifested right here from your consciousness so what are you going to do now with this? Treating ourselves, in that way that we would say, oh, I want this in my life, I want that in my life, and why? Because people, it's going to make them happy, right? Or whatever, people want stuff, people want more things, and things to do, which it's not like things to do is good to have, but you already have something to do. You're already doing something, and taking care of your mind, body, and soul. And I wanted to say mind, body, and soul, but the body is because to manifest it, you need to pull the energy through you. You need to be able to ground the energy. You need to be able to step yourself into the life that you want to live, the way you want to be, the way you want to feel, the way you want to think, the way you want it all to work. You have to step into that, and you have to defend it and fight for it and anything else, because it's yours. And so what is what's meaningful to you? Like for me, what's meaningful for me? World peace. Sorry, it's always going to be that case. I'm never going to change my mind on that. So sometimes I get a little overexcited when I'm trying to talk about these things, but it's not for no reason. Just like anything we do, guys, and understanding that reason within each other and all of us, and what we're all really saying and what we're all really trying to do. Not listening to the headlines, not listening to, the media tube, all this stuff. That's why it's the real people who are going to change all of this. And I'm super excited, because it's changing right now. There's more people out there now. Everywhere I look, like somebody's got an astrology business, you know what I mean? Or something, or they're doing, whatever stuff. And it's great. It's great. It's like I said that, said before, once we all start doing those things, right? The astrology, the sacred geometry, the crystals, the sound healing, the this, that's what we need. And at this point in time, the world is still peeling away or peeling off of, or still has some old energies on it, right? So it's the process is it's gonna take, we're gonna have to go through the process, the old process into the new process. And what'll happen is it'll be undeniable that people will see the truth. And in like like I said about Tai Chi, where it was weird seeing somebody do that in the park, and then nowadays people are like, oh, it's super good for you, and now I know why they're doing it, and more people are doing it. So if it's sound healing, if it's color therapy, if it's crystals, people think, oh, you like all them crystals, it's just like, once people realize, like, it's going to become, it's inevitable. This change is inevitable. And a lot of the getting ready and preparing yourself or entering that new place means we have to really do that. I mean, I wish I lived in a quartz crystal, like, you know what I mean? Just my whole house was like, I just like go to sleep on the quartz, or whatever. Like, I wish it was around me all the time, constantly. But most of the world doesn't understand the importance of that, but they will. They definitely will. Okay. We're doing a partner. There's going to be another one to this. Are you sure? We'll see who this is. Hold on. All right, one last shuffle. It's up to you. Oh. You gave me two. That's funny because look who we got. We got two of them. Like, oh, I love it. You guys are too funny. So the first one was Nidvalir. I think we've had her before. Let's go. Hold on, let me. Two hands. The dwarves, the Golden Hall. You've entered Nidvalir, the mysterious land of the dwarves. Dwarves are said to live in great halls underground. They are master craftsmen with precious metals and halls made of gold. The dwarves, they're not spelling it with a V. I don't know why. Make the swords and tools for the gods. They were the craftsmen who forged Thor's hammer and Mjolnir. Yeah, Thor's hammer is Mjolnir. Yeah, we had this one before. Drawing this card brings a message that your hard work will be rewarded. You have done your part. You made the grade with integrity and industry. This is a job well done. The dwarves never sit idle, but work morning till night, creating a place of beauty. It's time for you to receive the benefits of all your efforts. You might receive an unexpected gift. Be grateful for the good fortune that Nidavalir brings. Cool. And I agree. I think if the case is that we're all here on mission and we've all had specific and important things to do, I think we're all doing them. So you guys are too, and you guys can relax. Hey, Jeanette, how's it going? Is it Sunday? I think it's Sunday, right? I usually do videos on Sunday. Not really. I've just kind of been doing my own thing for the longest time now. There's a lot of commotion in the skies. There's a lot, and I share a lot of that with you guys on the show. But it's always the same. It's still Groundhog's Day. It's just a bunch of big babies. It's just a bunch of big galactic, I don't care what you are. It's just a bunch of big babies arguing and fighting over the toy called Earth. It's mine. No, it's mine. No, it's mine. No, it's mine. And all that's going to have to come to an end here for the babies. Let's go to Os. So we got Os or Os. Signals, Os, vessel, signals, spiritual gifts. It's green. You can't really see with the light. It looks blue, but it's green. Os is an ancestral god and a part of the Aesir. This rune represents a vessel that holds the magic and power of this sphere. The human body holds our creativity. It's kind of like yin and yang. Right? The human body holds our creativity, the fusion of the gods, goddess, and gods. Imagine the messages and signals. Examine the messages and signals you receive. The alchemy of what you do with this information takes place in your body, your vessel. See what I'm saying? I'm telling you, it's like I talk about it, and then the cards come out, and they just like, are you just? It humbles me to make to. Am I saying the right things? You know what I mean? I'm always wanting to, and then they like verify it. I love it. Alchemy, what you do with this information, yes, takes place in your body, your vessel. This rune has the potential to bestow the wisdom and magic of the Aesir on those who are listening and paying attention. Look to the divine. Right. Your body is everything. Your soul, your this, your that. It's all connected in here to this. It's connected to your third eye, your crown. It's connected to your dantians. It's connected to your organs. It's connected to your meridian, to your fingertips, to your everything. Everybody wants to know what to do, and there's tons of practices. We got to do them. We got to exercise. We got to stay healthy. But everything happens from inside of you. Everything, everything that we're seeing. It's like the double slit theory, where they shoot the photon through it, and they put the camera up, and as soon as the camera saw it, it turned into a particle. So just because the camera saw it, they already did it without the camera, and it stayed wavelengths hitting, the wall on the other side. And then as soon as they put a camera there, the one that went through and it saw it, it became a physical like particle. So we're literally creating it with our consciousness. And, like, does a bear poop in the woods? I'm starting to think not. There's no bears out there right now because I haven't seen any. I'm not, but it doesn't mean that it's a paradox. No, I'm just kidding. But it's more to do, right? Everything you are seeing is based off what you're supposed to see and what you've been asking to see. Anyways, let's keep going. I got these two right here, Willy and Ve. And then hell's on the bottom of the cards, which is cool. I'll actually read that too. I might as well. I was just going to do 2 cards, but we're doing 4. Here they are. Divine creativity. Vili and Ve are said to have fashioned earth and shaped Midgard. They are Odin's brothers and sons of Bur. They gave life to the first humans. Vili and Ve bring creativity and inspiration, connecting you to the sacred, the place where the divine convergence meets the cosmos. Creativity flows from God right through the top of your head into the crown chakra. It says for reverse, which might just give us more context, that it's a reminder that all creativity is sacred. If you dishonor your connection to divine inspiration and its relationship to earth and the gods, then this card warns you will become out of balance with your life. They urge you to regain your center through compassion, forgiveness, and understanding. Use your creativity to benefit all humankind. And that's really what it's about. It's about realizing more, we all want to help. We all want to do what we can. It's all about giving. The realm of hell. I put the cards away, but it was the one on the bottom, which is interesting. So there's hell with 1 L, they call it. Oh, it just focused. Oh. There we go. Right, so it's the realm of hell is located, a heel is located under one of the 3 roots of Yggdrasil. The goddess Hel is one of Loki's children. She was thrown into Niflheimer by Odin and granted power over all 9 realms if she agreed to host the people who died of old age or illness. She lives in the hall known as Judnir, which is surrounded by high walls, a large gate, and a ferocious watchdog. In many ways, this realm infers a different concept of the afterlife. In pre-Christian times, the Vikings viewed the hereafter as a continuation of life. The Norse did not have a concept of hell ruled by Satan and filled with rotting corpses. Instead, they believed in a great hall where dead people eat, drink, fight, and sleep. If you have drawn this card, do not be afraid. Rather, see this as offering a new way for you to perceive death and dying. The Hell card indicates that you have moved forward and gained insight into life and death, seeing death as a transition to another world and way of being. There is freedom in this card, and you are now able to walk throughout the 9 realms. That's what I was saying before about once we get okay with mortality and things like this, we're all going to die. We're forgetting that it's a sacred process. It's a spiritual process. You're going to go when it's your time. And people forget that, something happens and we say, oh, it was an accident. How do you know? You know what I mean? Like, well, the kid was there playing and he had his balls, toy, which he shouldn't have inside the restaurant. And he threw the ball, if it dropped, and then the waiter slipped over it, and then it was lights out. It was an accident. Was it really an accident? You know what I mean? Maybe that's exactly how that soul had planned to go out, And it's never fun, right? We all know that. But again, the cards are they're talking with me, and I love that. Like I say, everything is confirmed by the card. Yeah, it's crazy, And I tried to do that once where I'd like pull the cards first and then talk about them. But then I tried to talk about what I wanted to talk about. And it was weird. Like the whole thing was off. So however I've been doing this, I'm doing it the right way. Right? Yeah. 1,000 ways to die. Yeah, totally. Slipping on a ball from a kid, dropped the ball. Yeah, right. Who knows? Could be anything. Right. And that's right. Could be anything. And then that's where the fear comes in, because then you don't even move. You're bubble boy. You don't even want to touch nothing. I'm getting 3 off of you. All right, we can do 3. You sure? That's how I feel. I feel like we can do 3. Come on, guys. I believe in you. We don't need to. I got 2 more decks to pull, so I know. Well, you know what? Fine. That's all you're saying then. Okay? New blueprints. Important enough. That might be all we needed to hear. What number? Wait. 38. 38. We all know what blue new prints means. Be the change, take action, take a step, no matter how small, ignite an upward spiral, make a positive change, ethics and compassion, creating a ripple of light. Hello. Be the change you wish to see is an empowering mantra to remind us that we can step up and create the blueprints for the world we want to know. Powerful meaning change starts with you today. Hello. So you don't want to focus. Come on, focus. It's not focusing. Hey, I got it. Now I know how to fix it. Despite our desire to see change, we can be overwhelmed by all that is going on in the world and make a positive impact. Making one can seem impossible. It is healthy to have an interest in what is happening around us, but it is important not to become so disheartened that we can't find the inner light to ignite even the tiniest upward spiral of improvement. There's still so much natural beauty on this incredible blue planet, and there are organizations and solo game changers creating amazing transformation all the time. Shift your focus onto what is possible rather than what isn't. Stepping forward with action, however small, will benefit the vibration of the planet in some way. We have more of a voice than we realize. As consumers, we can direct our energy and make a difference through ethical choices. By stepping out of our own needs and wants, we can help someone less privileged. We can pick up trash, be present with someone, or smile at those we share a path with. Small acts create a ripple of goodness in the world. Consider how all beings can co-inhabit this glorious planet. Could you design a blueprint for ethical, compassionate, heart-centered living? What would the guardians of this earth need to do need to be? How would they feel about themselves? What can you do to uphold this? The divinatory meaning says this card inspires action, no matter how small, that will create a ripple of light in the world. You're a part of a bigger picture, a greater story, and your actions, your choices, your presence are making a difference. You have more power than you realize. Focus on what you can do and do it well. Change takes time, so make plans and start now. Right? Every little step. What did I say? What did I title this? Piece by piece, guys. That's what we're talking about today. Piece by piece. It's all happening. Cool. Let's go to the next one. More cards. And then I'm gonna go eat. I'm starving. I always do Galactic Heritage last because to me they're not the most important, but for me they are. I think I talked about them once before. For me, I want to see what that has to say about what's going on, because those are all the little babies arguing, which I am one of, right? We all are. It's not a judgment, but I don't know what else to call a bunch of beings who want to rule Earth and they're fighting over it and they're hurting everybody in the meantime. I don't know what to call them other than in a nice way, other than saying babies. All right, cool. So Sacred Earth Oracle, let's go. Ooh. All right. There's two of you in here. There's two of them want to pop out at least. That was close. That was a close one. Check it out. Sacred Earth Oracle. Boom. Guidebook. Boom, boom. Native Americans. The Native Americans. What you gotta say, baby? Yeah. What for people moving forward? They're just saying the connection with Earth, sacred Earth, man. It's already there. I want to pull the face card. If the face card pops out right now, I'm gonna freak out. All right, hold on. Two more decks. Hope all y'all doing good out there. We gotta bring this to the world. I think I caught you. You know, people gotta grow up. You know how to put it in a nice way. Ooh. Am I triggering? Is that what's happening? Oh no. We gotta realize, even that, how much more complex we are, how more amazing we are. Worrying about your triggers. Just, just get triggered, talk it out, and then move on and get over it. Like we don't got to dwell, for, work on our triggers for, all this time and all this and that. And the only thing that you have is you have an imprint of an energetic vibration that we're not letting go of. Anybody who has a trigger, who has a whatever, you know what I mean? We have a perception of the way something is. And so like the card just said, we have to look at what's possible moving forward, not what's already been happening. But a lot of people are still stuck there, and they're going to need a lot of that information because they're peed off. A lot of people ain't happy with the way things been going, and they want some real, answers because they can't hear the real answers. But you know what I mean? They want the arrests to be made or whatever, stuff like this. But again, that's going to happen naturally. So we don't got to worry about all that stuff. That's why I try to talk about like everything I possibly can. Even at the, the sacrifice of myself, I mean, it's, I got this channel. I made this channel for a very important to me reason. And it's not to sell you guys stories, but it's also to talk about the story that's happening. Whoa. All right, fine. You did that like 3 times to me. You're getting one of these. No. Yeah, it is. All right. So we got 2 of these guys. Let's go with this. Perfect. Look at that, of course. All right, it's getting dark. Let's hurry this up. We got reaction. There you go. What is it? Yep. Distraction, regression, adjustment, maturity, action. Yep, that's it. The stages. Yeah, we're going to make our own new stages, the 12 steps of spiritual ascension. Reaction, which we all know. But they're very simple words on these, but I'll hold the card up too. Let me get to the... And I love this ones too because they have like the earthly meaning, spiritual meaning, and then like the insight, right? It's like the practical application. Denial, numbness, or misplacement have compounded unresolved emotions. Hello, God, like I just said that. This is just, it's weird, guys. It's still weird. I still get excited. It's like, I already know this. I'm already saying it. But it's like, again, right? Like I said, people need like the evidence. We need like somebody, you know what I mean? People are believing the card more than the words that maybe is coming out of somebody's mouth, right? Because who are you? What do you do? Blah, blah, blah. You can tell they're triggered in this way. You can tell they're triggered, right? Everybody's sizing everybody up all the time. And that's why they'll listen to cards more than we'll listen to each other as people. And we got to stop doing that because we got to stop judging. Anyways, all that stuff I've said before. Denial, numbness, and unresolved emotions. An emotional reaction may have knocked things off balance. Beneath the surface, things may have been off balance for some time. Uncomfortable emotions are powerful signals. Respond with compassion, careful consideration, and awareness. Limiting emotions restricts access to truth. The person who can only feel positive emotions does not recognize a villain. The person who only feels anger cannot accept love. Spiritual meaning is observe your emotions and consider what they are signaling. To a large extent, how you react and respond. To life depends on how you perceive it to be. Yes. Step away for a while. Clarity requires balance and detachment. Let love be the catalyst for an enlightened outcome. Accepting your emotional self leads to being calm, composed, and blessed in every solution. And that's so true because, it's like today when I was at the gym, it was just, I felt so good. I was having, I don't know, working out, listening, music, and like everything's going great. And I just had that moment again where, like I just want to live in the gym. Like, I don't even want to go nowhere else. I want to go back, sacred space. I had my sacred space, today, where it was just like, something knocks you off balance, but then you got to find, or the card, and then we all need to find clarity. And what do we need? We need a nice long walk through the forest preserve, or on the beach. You just like forget about everything. Right, because we all know then we come back to the world and then we got to deal with all the worst stuff in the world. Like nobody, we all know it. Nobody wants to do it, whatever. We all know better, but instead we keep spinning the wheel. We keep getting caught up in the I want this and I want that. Your emotions, your desires, we can have all that stuff, right? But it's how we're going about getting it right. That's where we mess it up sometimes because we're trying too hard in this way, we're trying too hard in that way. We think this is what's going to get there, or that I'm gonna put all the makeup on, what I mean, I'm gonna wear the cool clothes, I'm gonna drive the cool car, like in order to or whatever it is, or I'm gonna wear the business suit so people take me serious. Like we're all literally going right back into the place that we don't even believe is truly true deep down, right? Like it's because there's more to it. Superficial. I should title that too. Stop being superficial. That's how I trigger people. I don't know. I don't know how else to say things sometimes. I mean, I do, but I don't have. It's just coming out of me. I'm not. This is the whole. They say be an example, right? Lead by example. We've been all doing that for years, but nobody's listening. Everybody's making fun of us because we're doing Tai Chi in the park, whatever. Giving something a try is not making a lifelong obligation. Can you see it? There she is. Close. You can switch, swap, and refine your interests, friends, lovers, careers, plans, home as often as you like. Something doesn't fit right, try something new. And if that doesn't work out, try something else. What you're looking for could be around the next corner. There's no failure in moving on or starting over. Spiritual meaning. Listen, your heart is calling. A thirsty heart cannot be quenched by logic. You must drink from the well of life and be replenished. Ooh, that's deep. I like that one. I like that one a lot. Each time it breaks, it comes to hold more, but its essence does not change. Your heart holds your truth in every breath. What does it say? Listen, and you shall be reborn. Exactly. That's dope. I like that one. I didn't read the insights because the insights, like, they'll be like, back in 1922, when the railroad was being built, it's just like an example, an analogy, you know what I mean? The insights, they're cool because sometimes you learn like something neat about history, you know, but we don't really have to read those because you guys get what it means, renewal. And that's what it is. Everything, everybody, you know, and that's the trap, is constantly pulling the past forward, constantly, you know, it's like anything, you got to forgive somebody. Somebody did wrong in their life. Maybe they went to prison. Maybe they did something super bad. Maybe, you know, anything, you know, if we don't allow that to move forward, it'll never have the opportunity. But do you risk it? Right. It's a choice you have to make. Right. But as long as the door isn't open for that possibility, then we'll always be stuck in the past. And that's what everybody's doing. Everybody's blaming everybody, you know, for everything. And this is part of what's coming, is that what's been really happening, people are going to have to get blamed because they did it. Some people, is some, you know, beings, but how are we going to forgive them? How are we going to move forward? How are we going to live in a world of that light, right? I don't know if you guys have heard that. A lot of people are just going to be so mad, but we need to give, you know, the big, I'd like to think the big light beings that are here to really center things and make things better. You know, we're going to have to forgive everybody. You're going to have to know how to be able to look the demon in the eye and be like, I love you, you know, and whatever you did was messed up and you can't do that anymore. Right. And the process of that is just like anything else in life, talking to somebody you've known for years and that don't treat you right, you know, you got to tell them, you know, it's a spiritual thing. You're telling that demon, right? Anyway, it's all connected, guys. That's what I'm here to. I'm here to connect all the dots, so we're not confused. Yeah, no confusion at all. And it's still early. It's still really early. It's still really early, right? And I think that's a big takeaway from all this too. This talk today, these cards, start. You know, pick something new to do. You know what I mean? Look for, get into something, plan for something in the future, right? Don't play the short game, live fast, die young, you know, all that stuff, you know, play the long game, play the right. And realize that you're always, you know what I mean? That's because that brings the awareness to you that you need to do things each and every day, you know what I mean? Or whatever, you know, go to the gym every day or every other day, or, you know, like, because you're playing the long game. You want to be healthy. You know, it's that paradox alone that we all want to survive, even though we all know this place, you know, can be hard. Life can be hard. Life can this, life can that, right? But when it comes down to it, you know, not everybody, you know, all my love, but, you know, we're all still trying to survive. We're trying to live. We're trying to, we always will keep fighting and we always will keep surviving. So understanding that who you really are, what you really want, what's really, you know, like what we're really doing here, that we're here and for a reason, and, you know, all that stuff. And just, yeah, life doesn't just end. Right. That's the whole thing. Like, oh, I didn't do enough by the time I was this age, and I didn't do like this, and I didn't do it like that. And it's like, listen, you're gonna go on after this life. You're gonna have another life somewhere else. You know what I mean? You're gonna get to do all this stuff all over again, have some fun, hopefully. Right. It's understanding how to bring all that into perspective. is very difficult because a lot of people's perspectives are limited, and it's limited by things that they fear. Like are you gonna jump in front of the bullet when you know it's the right thing to do? Like you feel it, it's in your heart, like like your body has to move, you have to be there, you have to dive, you have to save this person, right, or something. But are you going to do it because you're going to get fear? No, I don't want to die. And then you say, well, I want to live, and then it gets confusing. I don't really have a point on that one. That just gets confusing. Right? And because it doesn't matter, you do what you want, whatever you chose. It's not, it's not it's going to keep going. Life's going to keep moving on. But that was a funny example. I don't even know how that example came, but whatever. Come on. We're doing 3 of you guys. We do 3 on that, and piece by piece. Oh, cool. Oh, nice. Yeah, double speed. Yeah, I watch everything on double speed on YouTube. It's ridiculous. Because we all talk. We all have to talk slow. Talking is slow. Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, appreciate it. I hope so. I only got a few subscribers and viewers out there. Love all you guys. My gosh. Jeez. Okay, second card. Whoa. What? No. You've got to do that again for me to choose you. Sorry. I'm trying to remember where. Okay. No, never mind. We needed something else. Let's go, baby. Look at the Zetas coming in. Oh, look at that. We got card number 81 and 82. The Zetas. What do you guys want to talk about? I love you guys too. Zetas are great. There's a lot of peaceful, benevolent, beautiful Zeta beings. Sharing cultural ideals first, Pleiades and present. Ooh, yeah. See, that's what we're all doing, man. It's like coming to this earth being like, this place is weird. What are we doing? We're sharing our cultural ideas. I cannot even read this. I need the light on. I have to use the light on the computer screen. As a 4th to 5th density species in this era, Pleiadians are now experiencing a higher spiritual awakening. They recognize their past imbalances and have gained a sincere intention to balance karma by recognizing that all things happen for a reason and learning from their choices. This card encourages you to do the same. God, today is just, I love you guys. Pleiadian guide is most likely assisting you with this. Take an honest look at your repeating challenges and know that karma is at work. Okay. Karma. These obstacles are gifts to help you move to the next level of your growth. Embrace them and open to the lesson and open up to the lesson that they are teaching you. Yeah, or be open. Yeah, they didn't add the word. I'm gonna turn the light on real quick and read these last cards. It's right over on the wall. Hold on, 2 seconds. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I'm gonna lose all my viewers, subscribers. No, I don't know. That's funny. I'd like to get have a show that's like production value, but I don't really. I probably wouldn't agree with half of it. There'd be too many distractions. Well, of course, I'd do one that I would agree with. But I'm just saying, it's like I can't even that, right? Like this is how you get rich by just making a YouTube video every day. It's like no, man, no. We gotta, dude. Like. We're trying to make a system out of organic life that's not going to work, Like, I mean, we can have system, you know what I'm saying? Like, no. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. If not, I'm not explaining that one right now because I'm getting hungry. I'll go eat. And a little parched. Zeta Reticuli, present again, returning the favor. Boop, 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 boop. During the darkest time of Zeta history, when they thought their species would be extinct, humans helped them. This immense and selfless gift will never be forgotten. Now that their species has passed through the crisis, the Zetas are returning favor by offering us their wisdom, help, and love in a variety of ways. This is a connections card, which means that you have a connection to the Zeta race, and their energy is available to you in this life to tap into your spiritual path. You have also had at least one lifetime as a Zeta. Open yourself up to their energy and prepare your heart to expand. Yeah, we've all had so many lives, and maybe not all of us, but a lot of us have. Most of the humans on it's not their first rodeo, but it is their first experience of what, you know what I mean. So, but many of us, it's have had lots of experiences, and I do, and that's why I think I mentioned the love that they have. They have a very. This is a perfect picture of their energy. Hold on. Come on. They're actually like a yellow green kind of color on here. Looks gold. But like this one, there you go, right in the middle. This guy. Like with the flower, right? Both hands on the heart, and they're just coming to give gifts, and they got all the streams of everything. This is the energy. It's almost childlike, innocent love. It's very, yeah. At least the loving Zetas that that I know of, there are Zetas who are still a little grumpy, but not for the most part. And that is in the present, so that's great. Then we have the one behind it, right? So that was 82. Now we're going back to 81. We got him back again, and then this one he's throwing them across the. He's throwing them into the pool. I don't know what's it. When the Zetas turned off their emotions in the ancient days and lost the ability to procreate, they also lost the understanding of how to nurture. Later, when they began procreating again, they had no idea how to nurture new children and relied on humans to help them. The issue of nurturance is an important one, but it isn't one-sided. We must nurture ourselves as well as each other. This asks you to look closely at your ability or resistance to nurture yourself. If your needs are not met, you cannot be of service to others. It is time to honor your self-nurturing needs without guilt. Cool. Yeah. The commentary here. Commentary is always long. I don't always read them, but it says, in their darkest time in the past, the Zetas vowed never to feel emotion, thinking that emotion was the cause of their problems. But being fully cut off from emotion always backfires. It causes isolation and tremendous desolation, as if you live in a desert with no source of nourishment. In physical reality, nurturing and the giving and receiving of love are forms of nourishment that are essential. With help from humans, Zetas had to relearn how to give and receive nurturing and love. If you pulled this card, it could have several meanings. Most likely it refers to a tendency you might have to put everyone else first and never nurture yourself. If this is the case, the card is a loud message that this must change. If you don't nurture yourself, you don't have the energy to assist others. It is a time to see your own nurturing to be as important as the nurturing of others. An alternative meaning might be that you are so afraid to open your heart to nurturing from others because you don't want to get hurt. If so, this old pattern must be released. If you have a particularly strong Zeta connection, this card may also refer to a lifetime you've lived during this era, or a Zeta being who is connected to you now. Whatever the meaning, begin to form new relationship with the idea of nurturing, both of the self and others. Where it leads may be a pleasant surprise. And totally true. So again, nurturing yourself. Hello, bada bing, bada boom. I think we're done, right? And see the humans, right? This is why we're so coveted, right? As a species. Is because of our ability to have emotions. There are superpowers, right? To be able to have so many emotions. What was the Andromedan that I said Alex Collier was talking about? The one said to him once, like, because he was watching like a shootout or something, like cops. He was watching cops, and the Andromeda, and he said that like the cop ended up having to shoot the guy, but then once in any situation like that, you shoot him, but then ambulance comes in, tries to save him. So he was saying how amazing it is and how awkward it is and weird to him that we can 1 minute hate somebody and literally shoot them and cause harm and cause pain, but then on the other hand, then all of a sudden switch our energy into, oh my gosh, we have to save this person now, right? Because, we don't want them to die. We just want them to stop being mean or whatever. But he didn't say that part. But I think that's a good um, idea on how our emotions are so powerful. And so this is why relaxing on emotions is very important too. It doesn't mean that you don't have them. It means that you're choosing to have a lighter and happier emotion, right? Like the idea of um, non-action, right? In Taoism or Buddhism or and all this in Tai Chi, where by choosing to not do something, that is your choice. And so some people say like, oh, you're you're like I always talk about, I love to sit outside for hours on end, and not do nothing. I'll do some Tai Chi, some stances, check on my videos, check on my people out there, and do some meditation, see where the energies are, see where the collective's at. It's like, to me, those are important things. And so, yeah, I'm not going out into town partying or doing this or right. And I think a lot of people are like that. We like our our sacred space at home, and our times with our friends and family and whoever and whatever the case is. But it's the energy of the non-action that allows, it's like value, it's what we're valuing. I don't know, go back to the superficial, right? Like I was saying, it's not like it's superficial to go out and have fun, but it's this constant societal pressure to do stuff, to be important, as if you already aren't. That's where all the problems come from in the first place, because your parents was telling you you're not important. Hopefully they weren't. I'm just saying, in that example, right? No, and you are important. We got to start valuing each other. All the value that everybody has and everybody wants from people and from life, it's already here. You just have to value them. You have to, even if they're, some weird looking, I don't know, homeless person. I feel so bad. Like, this is why I feel bad when I talk, I'll tell you guys. But you got to talk about it. Otherwise, we're not going to get nowhere. People, we don't have telepathy yet. We got, there's a lot of people that got to learn that, and even for me, it's still a process of learning. So we got some ways to go. We got to at least open up the communication routes so we can put all these pieces together. And that's the focus. We're putting the pieces together, and we're doing it together, whether we realize it or not. Even like a psychologist, who knows that they listen. So you think that they're okay, right? Because they listen to people all day long. And so who's worried about the psychologist? What if they have trouble with their mind or mental or emotional things too? They take on, they help all the time, but like the example said, or some people give so much love and then they don't know how to do it for themselves, and so just being nice again, right? Shout out. That's my videos. I need to make it more of a catchphrase, I guess. Just be nice. The one thing to rule them all. That's my catchphrase, right? The one emotion, the one energy to like make it all work. What was love? That's the more powerful one and the more encompassing one. But be nice. Be nice to yourself, be nice to others. And then the rest comes easy. Hey, Soulful. Distractions. Yes, so many distractions. Hey, Betty. Hope you're having a good night, too. Good to see you. Yeah, nice, Jeanette. That's a good way of putting it. People have different priorities and likes, and a lot of people scold that. Yeah, doing Tai Chi in the park, what a weirdo, right? Or playing video games, right? I'm a boy. I was a kid. I loved them. You know what I mean? Like this is really something I found so fascinating, but I had to grow up in the era where, what are you, a nerd? And, this stuff, which, it was an issue for me, but, like, it's just like everybody's thinking stuff and telling you what to do and what not to do. And then everybody goes and says, oh, I'm for, like, I just want everybody to be happy. Oh, really? It's like, we gotta, no. And that's the internal, people gotta work on themselves and these things. But it's from the courage that all of that becomes okay to do. It's from, nobody's going to get this stuff that we're talking about necessarily, for a little while. It's not going to sound normal. It's going to sound weird. We're going to be the weirdos. We're going to be out on the fringe. We're going to be doing all this and talking about all this weird stuff, when those of us who talk about this and know this stuff, it's like the most important and most amazing things in the world. Like talking about natural healing, talking about sound healing, talking about color therapy, talking about psychology, talking about their emotions, people working together, right? Even psychology, right? The whole, oh, like, you're so weird, you want to talk about your emotions. No, it's a good thing to do. Like, my thing with it all is the money, the systems, the way that it, we should just be a community doing this already. And that's a goal that we're going to get to, in my lifetime for sure. At least in a lot more Wade seesaw, where we're going to do a lot more of this, because that's why I'm here, part of it. But, and that's why I said earlier, you've already been holding the light. You've all already been setting it all up. So don't ever worry about, oh, why isn't it happening faster? Or why isn't it this, because I've talked about that on my show too. These are natural things that we all think about. But once we recognize, again, who we are and how important it is that we're here and what we're here to do, you can let everything else go, and just take care of yourself. Do the best thing you can do. Something, if you need, people out there struggling, whatever, go get a new job, you know what I mean? Or whatever, or go get a new, whatever. Like, we can always change, like the one card said, change your house, change your environment, change, we might not all be able to move houses, but I've said this before on the show a bunch of times, change your furniture around, do it twice a year, do it for the spring and then do it for the fall, just move the bed into the other corner and put the table over there, and it'll feel great. And that's because it allows you to connect with the physicality of the change that you're creating and that you are. We all want to manifest it, so do it. You can. You can do a lot more than people. We got to stop thinking that just, right, life's a witch and then you die, and we just live and then we just get old and grumpy in it. No, like, no more of this. Like, no more. Where you guys watching my show, I love you. You're not allowed to do this stuff anymore, right? Because I don't want you guys beating yourselves up, or anything like that. Me, myself, I had to do this myself. Get to a point where, you get your rhythms going, right? Like I mentioned to you guys, go, do your Tai Chi, do your meditations, go to the gym, or not gym, just do something, go on that walk to clear yourself. Clarity is so important. We're so used, it's like the trauma, justifying thing, where you're so used to such high levels of trauma that you easily fall back into them, and you don't realize they're not good for you, so it's like going for the walk, clearing yourself, feeling good, then you come back to life, and then you get wrapped up again. You got to take care of work, you got to take care of kids, you got this, right? You got to take more breaks. You got to go out for that break again, because then it's like, oh, well, I'm taking care of things. This is important. This is like, yes, it's important, but it's also important not to bog them down. It's just like kids. Perfect example, raising kids, you got to let them go at some point, or at different points, you got to let them go. Not like let them go off into the wild blue, but like, you need to let it go, everybody. We all have to do it because we forgot to trust the universe, right? And then everybody's, oh, well, I'm religious and I trust in the plan. Well, then why are you doing, there's so many threads of consciousness, of awareness, that this is all connected, that we have to start plugging back into our own minds, so we do the right things, we make the right choices, in the moment. And then it takes such skill because of all the thoughts, and then you have to be intuitive. But you have to also know that we're all beings of energy, and so we can receive any kind of energy. So then there's intuition, there's the telepathic intuition, but then there's the gnosis intuition, the understanding, where it's always the tiniest voice, is, like we say, it's why is it the smallest, tiniest little voice that is the one to follow, right? It's because it's the one that lives in the place of ease and peace that you want to live in, but you forgot what that place is like, right? Like when you're creator of all things, right? You're your higher self, soul, whatever, and that's why it doesn't matter what we do. They say, you do what you do, it's okay, you love it anyways, right? It doesn't matter. They're not worried about the stuff the same way. So why is it the smallest voice? Is because they're not up there. You have to do this like that, right? That's not how this. No, they're not going to force that. They, you, it, whatever, call what you want. And so it's that most of the time it's not the emotional voice. You know what I mean? It's not the one that just has, oh, I feel it, therefore I am. No, that it's the dude chilling on the swings, going like, yeah, you should probably not do that. Why is it that voice? Because he's way over here. He's not in the noise. Does that make sense? I think I've explained it. He's not in the noise. Because you want to channel the energy that you want from where you want it. So love or peace, it's going to be a peaceful, loving, right? And then if you choose not to do that, it's peace and love. So he's not going to be like, your higher self, they're not going to be like, oh, you can't do that, blah, 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 do this, blah, like that's doesn't work that way. And that's part of you and us all learning to align ourselves with what it is that we truly are and truly want, and all of the confusion that happens when we try to change the world too much, and not like try too much, like, it depends what you're doing, but you know what I mean? Getting caught up in, how you're supposed to do it, or, whatever. You have to notice when you're getting, what is that top of the bottle, when you're getting you can't break out of it. Why can't I? You know what I mean? It's getting too bogged down. It's getting backed up, or whatever, the bottle example. Like it's getting clogged up. And that's when so you stop, right? Too much of my energy is being put on this, and it's not giving me the return, right? So stop. Just stop. Align again with peace. If you want peace, you got to align with peace. Not everything else. Doesn't matter. This is what a lot of people have to learn. Is what, I hate calling them, normies, or, sleep sheep, whatever, like it, but it's the words we got for them. I don't mean any offense by it, because we're all sleeping on some level, to some degree, to some aspect, like not one of us knows like all of it, and even the beings who know, that are here, they're super powerful, that know all the history, there's still things that they have to learn too. There's still things that they, they're learning from this experience too, right? Think of the beings that are going to protect this place or come in and they have to learn too how to do that with humanity. And that's what we all have to learn how to do as souls and consciousness. We have to learn how to take care of humanity. This is a big this is a big deal right now. I know. Okay, I guess that's where we're going with this one then. I guess hopefully the whole world hears me. That's why that's why I love being 100th monkeys, because I have too many like thoughts that it's almost, right, like I have to say them exactly perfect every time, or something, in order to get right. Because when you have more awareness and consciousness, the importance of the words or what somebody's saying, it takes on a new level, the more information you add. So, but yeah, this place is coming together just fine. Because all of the not coming together, the fear, this and that, it's all illusions. Not to say that like there aren't, there's a lot of like places who can't get good food, good water, like we need to do actual things to help this place, and it's not necessarily coming together there, but again, that's perspective. But it's just so much more going on. There's so much more to this whole story. And it's easy to navigate once you just put it all stuff down. Just put it down. Just put it down. Don't worry about it. Who cares? No one cares. You know what I mean? For the day, don't um, and it doesn't mean you don't care. Things are happening in the world, right? We know it, right? But just to, oh, you don't care because you didn't, say something, or I gotta stop all this. We gotta stop all this. But so look at this, your life. Look at life again. Try and remember. It's not just about how much stuff you can obtain in a life. It's about how much you can. It's not just about how much you can give. You know what I mean? Like it definitely is. Giving. Love. But like the example, if you don't know how to receive love, then it's out of balance. And it's all about rebalance. It's all about walking this life. And every time you walk, you're out of balance. If you think of that as a concept, right? I mean, we could balance on one foot for a little while, right? But just the act of moving through life is constantly taking yourself out of balance so that you can get new footing and be in balance again, right? And move forward. So, the selfishness, the selflessness, all that, right? Like, no. The problem with it all is it's all great to talk about, and we all understand and we know what it means. It's when it gets bogged down. So bottleneck. That's what I was looking for. High five that way. How's it going, man? Yeah, we got to get rid of the doubt. Yeah, free will. Cramped bottleneck. There you go, Curse. You got it. Yep. I thought of it right there too. I just read it. Yeah, aim for peace. Yeah. I agree. I agree 100%. Yeah, Metatron's, because he sets up all the, yeah. Anyways, inspired action for self and others. Yeah, and we got to remember that stuff too. That's why you got to get clear. We just got to be clear. Yeah, peace has always been with me and Michael, Archangel Michael energy, right? It's the grace, the ease, and the peace, or something like that. I forget where I associated some of that with for a long time, but it is, people want peace, but they crave excitement. That's not peace. And it doesn't mean it can't be peaceful, but if it's, peace is peace, the quiet moment, the everything's saying polite words, everyone's aware of what's going on, everyone understands each other's energies, and because I think of a kid right off the bat, running around going crazy, so, that's not exactly peaceful, but it's not negative, right? It's chaotic, but it's not, so a lot of this is definitions, right? Even just in the spiritual and learning all these words and then saying them again, but meaning an even more in-depth thing about it. It's just like it keeps going. And people are getting stuck, they're getting bogged down, and they're not able to move forward because they're not clearing themselves. It's too much trying to figure it all out. Take it from me. I got a lot going on up here, right? A lot less than I ever did, but that is something that I love because that's my superpower, right? But even that could, like anybody can get bogged down, no matter what we could all of our superpowers, we got to use them right, the whole thing. Yeah, ease and grace. Yeah, I love those are my favorites. Ease and grace. Those are my favorite things in the world. Um, yeah, because I'm holding. I'm hanging. We're all hanging. All right, cool. It's been like 2 hours. I don't know. I keep going. Feels good. Feels good to talk again. I love you guys. Appreciate you guys, and keep doing what you're doing because we're all one tribe, right? Like this concept of skin color, right? Did I say that on the last one? I think I said it before. All it is proximity to the sun or how much sun people get. We're all the same race. There's no different race. Like, I'm Asian and then you're, you know, like, it's not a race thing, it's a culture thing. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with race. We're all the same race. Um, it's just how close to the sun you are. It's just, that's it. Like, it's your diet. If you're up in the mountains eating elk and bears, or you're tropical and you're eating fish, we're going to look different. Okay. It's just, after a couple 100 years, we're going to start looking, a little bit. It's not. So all of this it's all silliness, but you guys know, and it's all coming to a head here. The more we all talk about it, that's why I said earlier, people are going to have to start to acknowledge things, and where before we could brush them off. What was the one I saw? I shared it. Where a black guy, whatever, said something to the one interviewer. I think it was a Fox News interview or something, but he said, like, and it was, it was fine. I don't think either one of them was really being mean or bad or nothing like that, right? But he went there on her, and he was just like, you talk about me, you talk about that. Y'all's was the or illegal immigrants. Is about immigrant. He's like, y'all are the most illegal ones of everybody. All you guys came here and killed all the Native American or whatever. Like he went there. And when I saw it, I was just like, yep. I said that. Yep. I said this is what the world is going to have to. Whatever I was just saying right before that, because I can't think of. People are going to have to deal with the truth, and it's not going to be fun for a lot of people, and we have to make sure that we love them, because a lot of people's whole paradigms, their whole thoughts on life are going to crack, and it's not because they're a bad person, they're bad people. It's a lot of people don't know any different because school ain't teaching it to you, right? School says there's all these different races and these people and that and this and history, and Christopher Columbus founded America. School's not telling us nothing, I mean, it tells us what it tells us, like, but not a lot of stuff, right? Yeah, right. 70 years of, yeah, like all of them wiped out, right? And it was great. I mean, I loved it. I was so happy. I shared it on Facebook right away. I was like, because that's the truth. Everybody wants the truth. Well, it's like white privilege, right? Which, trigger words here, but it's a thing. Like I mean, I don't know how else to put it. Like, there's the KKK. Like, there's literally a bunch of people who think that they're superior based off the color of their skin, and they're like allowed to exist. Okay, sure, fine, freedom. Okay, but and I don't want to get into all the political sides of it and what everybody calls it, but the idea of white privilege, like, yeah, like they came from Europe and killed everybody over here. Like, we can't talk more on the topic until we're you're willing to, you have to stop there and then start from, and so it's like, yeah, this stuff's really a thing. But again, I would go beyond it and say, we say white privilege, whatever. That's just where it was located at with the banking and the system, the elites, the ruling. You know what I mean? Like it could have been any color came over and did any color. It had to be some people, had to start somewhere. So, but it's a ego issue, night side, that has to do with much more than the color of the people. So it's not like it's right, because you say, well, it's, it wasn't my fault, I never did any of that, and it's like, well, it's your ancestors and blah blah blah, and it's like, okay, right, but I never did any of that stuff, right? But until we're able to admit how it happened, so that's what it got me excited, because all this stuff's coming out, and I love it. Like, that's, they say don't trigger people. Oh, I don't think there's a way to not. I really don't, at this point. So don't worry about that sort of stuff. The cluck cluck. Yeah, really. Seriously. He's like that Dave Chappelle one when he was the blind black man who hated black people. That was hilarious. Shout out Dave Chappelle. All right, guys. I'm going to go eat. It's been 2 hours. Love you guys. Yeah, they'll feel right. They feel it through the ancestry line, of course. That's what it all is. It's you forgiving them right now, and then that's sent, right? This is how powerful we are. We're literally creating the reactions right now. We're creating the paths right now. We're holding the light right now. For every one of us that forgives is what strengthens the love. Like, no matter what. And I'll argue them to the end of the days, because there are people who are really in bad situations out there. What are they supposed to do? Just love everybody and get them out of there? Well, I mean, there's practical sides, and then there's practical sides, because the reason that they're there has to do with their souls and things like this. But what I don't like is the deception, because there's a lot of souls who were deceived into thinking that they have to do certain things, or they have to incarnate, or they have to keep coming back, or they have to do this or do that in order to fix what someone else broke. But part of the learning for the one who broke it in the past comes with the new incarnation of an ancestor. Well, that wouldn't be an ancestor, you know what I mean? Of a new person in your family. So yeah, it gets really complicated, but for me, it's very simple: peace, ease, grace, love, and kindness. It's very simple, right? Keep it simple. Stupid. Keep it simple, stupid. Right? All those smarts that you keep packing in there and making you dumber. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just gonna be silly, right? Yeah, first and foremost, called divisionist. If you don't like someone, you're a divisor, you're a divisioner, not a divisor. That sounds more. Anyways, second, more white and brown people history have been slaves than black people. Yeah. No, I know. There's a lot of that too. Yeah, right. I mean, it's just wow. Yeah, good to see you too that way. Be seeing you guys soon. Hopefully, a couple months, but definitely once again this year. I gotta be up there, if not twice. But time's ticking. Energy's here. We got work to do. You guys have work to do. You're already doing your work. Just with your forgiveness, thoughts of forgiveness, it's doing the work. So it's awesome. This place, this mission, this life, it's epic. And that's how rad it's gonna be. Oh, I'm so glad I said rad, because then I put that in the comments. Rad. We're all here, piece by piece, being rad. For those of you who don't know, stands for radically accepting destiny, right? That's what RAD stands for. I don't think I've ever said that before because I didn't want it to be known. But it's too late now. I ain't holding nothing back. I mean, I never really did. But yeah. Oh, there's so much to say. I just keep going forever. All right, guys, I'm out. Love you guys. See you next one. Hope this helped make you guys feel a little better about the world, about where we're going, about how you guys are doing, about what's happening, and just being that reminder. That's why I'm coming on every time. Groundhog Day or not, I'm going to keep Groundhog's Day in love. Right, that's the point. Right. What is he talking about? Love again? Yes, because that's what we should be talking about all the time. That's the Groundhog's Day we want to live in. It's the one where everybody just keeps giving you hugs as you're walking down the street, and you're like, I can't even hug nobody no more. It's too much, man. I've never felt this much love. That's what we need to do in the world. So that's great for everybody. All right, I'm gonna go. Again, I just want to sit here and think and talk about stuff. What are you doing? Yeah, I'm glad you're here too, Soulful. Yeah, love and peace. Oh yeah, be a conduit. Thank you, Cursed. And that's what it is. Become. I was gonna say become the catalyst, right? I think is a saying. I know there's a song too that I like, but that's why I wanted to do a play on that and say become the conduit, right? Piece by piece. That's what you're doing. Don't give up. It's not over because you're still here. You're still breathing. And we got this. We got this. Hello? We got this. We've always had this. It's always been under our control. It's just the truth. Now, not everything, not, there's billions of people. So it's, we're individuals learning to live in harmony with each other. I guess it's one way to put it. Okay, I'm going to open up a whole nother can of worms here, and not time for that. Catalyst is the event, calamity is the being. Oh, cool. I like that. Yeah. Universe is inside all of us. Exactly. Everything that comes through you, that you see, that you think, everything is happening in here. Like, yeah, we can argue, like, my computer is here, right? But I'm reading it. I'm seeing it. It's happening to me, for me, by me. And no, not in that science way, okay, yes, it's a computer. We don't gotta confuse everybody, but it's gonna make more sense. Give it some time. It's gonna make a lot more sense for the world. So yeah, I do know you in technical definitions. You gotta be careful with those. I mean, just in general. Like, don't get hung up on them. But I like it too. It's fun. I like to play with words. Put the word before, put it in the back, before the but or after the but, right? Well, how come there's a comma? Nobody needs a comma. But like, I love that too. Like, the way we speak, what we mean when we're saying it. If we say it wrong, it's like when somebody says the wrong word to you. A specific, like specifics, specifically. And then but say nobody noticed it, right? Or like somebody heard it, but you know what they mean, right? I love all of this is a blast. We should all be having, and as soon as we start talking more, like, oh my God, that's when all is fun. Everybody goes to the club or the bar or the party or the house or whatever you're at, and everybody just starts blabbing and talking, having a good time. Nobody's caring, right? Which is like being a child, like I always say on the show. It's like when you're a child and we stop judging. So, oh my God, I'm just going to keep blabbing. Catalyst is the verb, calamity is not. Oh, no, yeah, I knew that. Yeah, right, exactly. That's why we're being the conduits, so that we're all of them. Because a conduit is a verb and a noun, right? where I guess you'd have to say to conduit would be the verb. Okay, anyways, get get out of here. Karma is a teachable lesson or a learnable lesson. Right, exactly. And that's just the polarity of everything. The yin and the yang and the yang and the yin over and over. And even karma is something that you can get past. Yeah. Um, but it's, if you guys, did I ever talk about Carmines? Cari, like Carmine, looks like Carime. Carmines. Is there an E? Might not be an E. It doesn't sound like there'd be an E, but they're called Carmines. They're actual physical energetic things that are tied to our bodies. And with a certain, I don't want to say infrared, but certain goggles or whatever, you can actually see them on people. And they've been measured with science. And so this is where it comes from. They say you might have a karmic, say, relationship. Well, that's because both of your karmins are actually close to each other. So you have the same karma to work out, right? But if you want to look into that, they're actually called karmins, and we have them, and they're based off our energetic imprints from our past lives, our DNA, anything like that. And so we all have our roles to play. So to me, and it's the reason I mentioned that is because karma is still this semi, people are understanding it in their own ways, kind of still, maybe a little. Some people feel like they're bound by their karma, which in a sense we are, but it's not all just, I don't like when people worry about stuff like that, like, oh, my karma, I gotta balance my karma, and otherwise, and all of that's just a trap. You're already fully integrated to and with your karma and your destiny. And the only way you can change anything is by changing yourself and changing your perspective and changing, if it needs to be changed, right? Or not, or don't change it. But like original sin, like I talked about on that show, the concept that we're all just sinners and we all have to like pay reparations for all the bad that we've done. Like, no, a little baby, that's his little newborn baby, he's 1 minute old. Don't you dare call him a sinner. Like, what I mean? Maybe he will later, no problem. Okay, yeah, sure, it's life. But, and does he have the karmins of maybe he does. Okay, but, again, the words, the dogmas, I don't like it when people get wrapped up with that stuff, because we have to see the things for, as they are, and not just how they've been described. And that's how you move forward, and not bring the past into a new world, not bring your past forward. Yeah. Don't create a past future. But it's fun too. That's why I like the words. You can tell I analyze the crap out of everything. Trust me. It's how my brain works. Always has. It's lightning fast. I don't know how fast, whatever. Right? It's just very fast. Yeah, it's all about balance. Carmen is visible, like with the aura. Yeah, exactly. With the auras, right? It's just like that. But I don't think it works the same way. Although it does. I mean, since we're all just light and energy, then yeah, essentially, we can see, once we can see all the other colors, and we can see, your third eye, like, we'll see all of the stuff on us. So yeah, it is, but I haven't heard that they're viewed that way, but it would make sense that if you're viewing someone's aura, you're also seeing their karmins. And it's with a C, Carmin. But yeah, you can look up because there's science. They've kind of studied it, but I don't know if you'll find it easily. Like most things, like this, it's kind of a newer concept that, at least for me too, I've been doing this a while, and I hadn't heard of that. But yeah, science is coming along too. It's going to make it. It's going to be okay. I love you too. I love all of us too. So far, oh, yeah, yeah. That's the yin and the yang and the yang and the yin. You know, because there's different ways of caring. You know, you care about the kid and you let them go. That shows that you care, or you care and you don't let them go and protect it. You know, it's living in a paradox, realizing we live in a paradox and we don't live in black and white. You can choose to only see black and white, but that's not where we're at and what's really happening. So, all the words. That's why words, we have to, in the emotional tone that they have with because I'm a passionate person too, especially when we talk about this stuff. I get all excited and passionate and want, but it's removing the emotional charge on words so that we can redefine and not bring the past, not create a future past like we keep doing over and over, right? We got to change all the words. I'm gonna make a whole brand new language, and I want your guys' help. Let's write a whole new language for everybody, something. But the thing is we don't need to do that because there's already a language that exists. We forgot how to listen to it. It's light language and things like this, where all that comes from. We forget how to listen. That's why it's why there's issues when the Chinese, they when they meet business meeting, they're meeting an American guy and he wants to shake her hand, but the Chinese dude's like, no, we don't shake hands, and he bows, right? And then the other guy's like, why are you bowing to me, little boy? You looking all weak. You should be looking at me in my eyes like a man, which is that whole American side, So when you shake my hand, you squeeze it hard. Everybody's just they're full of themselves. That's all. I don't know how else to put that. They think they got the right thing and the blah 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 blah. And it's not that it's wrong. We got to start communicating more. We got to open it up. We got to remove the definitions and then just try it again. Like ooh ah ah food. Okay, did I have to say? Well, food would have been quicker to say, but you know what I mean. It's just everything's out there, and because it already exists as it is. This is the way, the Tao, the Taoist. It's the way that can be explained. That is not the way, and the more you try to explain it, the further you get from it. It's called shutting up and listening, right? Like that's the best words I could think of a way to put it. Maybe not the best, but definitely accurate, right? It's what is the way? Just shh, stop, right? Every time you try to add something new, it's getting put right. And so, but again, we live in this world, it's got all the things and we have space for all of it. So everybody can keep learning. At the core, we just got to start being nice again. So there you go. That's it. That's it for the show. Yeah, evil. Yeah, evil Mr. right? Right. Uh, yeah, but see, you are a hundredth monkey, so it's not your problem, but it's it's part of you, right? So yeah, like, but I know what you're saying, right? Yeah. I don't know why you felt evil, Mr. Rolo. That really was. That's not close to evil, Mr. Rolla. You guys don't see evil, Mr. Rolla. On so you see smart Alec, street grew up in the street, streetwise as opposed to book smart primarily. I like streets. That's all you're seeing. You're just seeing a little attitude, a little ego or attitude pop up is all, because I can talk about it all with everybody, right? But that's what I mean. What's the point? So we're all trying to prove how badass we all are, right? Everybody, how tough everybody is out there. No, but I'll do it. I'll do it in a heartbeat, but it's because I love everybody. It's not because I'm trying to prove, you know, I'm not trying to prove nothing. I'm just saying, we're all just talking here about what we're talking about, and nobody's got to believe anything I'm saying. That's the whole point, right? We're all just here to express ourselves, to share a conscious thought, to share an idea with the world so that the world can use it for its benefit, right? But we get caught up like, you said it, so then it makes you evil. No, 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 no. No, that's not, no, no, it's not how it goes. But it's easy to sum it up that way. So no, I don't know specifically what you felt. I don't even know what I said, but I do appreciate that you resonate, bro, as always. For sure, for sure, for sure. Um, Soulful. Oh, hi, Trish. Yay. Good to see you. Oh my gosh. Yes, I know. I'm so glad that's all still going. I had such a good time doing those courses. And I'd love to go back. I haven't really, we haven't talked about me coming back at all, but I think William mentioned at one point, that he thought I was busy doing all these other things. So I don't know. I'd really like to come back and do that again because I was great meeting all you guys. Can't know both because the other becomes more fuzzy. Yeah. Right, because you have to exist. You have to choose. This is all about learning how to use art. Right, you have to choose what and where, and it's the fact that people have to learn to choose to become multidimensional and quantum, and a lot of people don't even think it's a thing, or whatever. Like, I mean, like quantum physics, right? It's so obfuscated and unknown, nobody knows, right? And it's, in reality, it's exactly what you are. You're more that than you are anything else that you think you know. You know what I mean? So it's all awareness. Everything is about awareness, which I've been saying. So yeah, the humans have diluted everything. Exactly. For good or bad, doesn't matter. They just have, you know. The best the best why that you can explain it is Matrix 2 when we meet the bodyguard of the Oracle. Oh yeah, nice. That's a good scene. I haven't watched the Matrix in forever. They're my favorite movies, like, of all time, like, hands down. I mean, there's a lot of cool ones, but oh god, yeah. The Matrix came out. Oh, it's the only movie they ever needed to make, and I'd be happy for the rest of my life. Like, yeah, I gotta watch those again. That was a good fight scene. I remember that Chinese dude or whatever, he Korean. I don't want to. Right, like, it's different. No, it's the same thing. Okay. Anyways, gotta go. Gotta eat. Been chatting too long. Love you guys. Always love doing this, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Oh wait, last one. You can't talk after this one because I'm gonna read it and I'm gonna never get out of here. Yeah, Asian. Yeah. I forget. I know. I forget sometimes. Say whatever comes out. Right. Right. It's like white, like, or whatever. Right. What do they say about white people? Like, what are the bad ones? How come people don't get mad when white people get mad and call them white? Like, what? Or I don't know. It's all just funny. It's all just funny. You know what I mean? It's because the only reason is because somebody's still hung up on the past. Not that we shouldn't. People need to be aware of this stuff. But there's a difference between you're still hung up and you're tied to your emotions versus, like, me. I'm saying all these things and I have passion, I have emotions that flow through me. But is it what I'm tied up on? You know what I mean? Like, well, no, it's what I see. And so I start talking about it. So I'm tied up, whatever, for that moment. But then, what I do in my free time is, like, I'm my peace and my happy place. You know what I mean? So it's like, not everything that everyone has is a trigger or a trauma or a this or a that or right. And the world is still getting there. A lot of people, even on the spiritual path, they're just starting, you know. with these concepts. I've had these concepts my whole entire life. Um, but like all of us, I had to, go through them and figure them all out too. And that's why I'm here now to talk about them and give everybody the cliff notes, like stop being emotional. Like when it's too much, go rest, go clear, go get clarity, go forget about that for a little while and be at peace, right? Meditate, but then use the fire, use the passion, know that you're here to talk about it and why you're triggered. Your triggers are supposed to ignite you to say something or do something about, they're not always bad and blah, 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 blah. See you guys next time. Yeah, Happy Gilmore taught me about that too. Happy Place. Right. Right. Well, right. That's a good point. Right. They're the bad white people. Right. Exactly. Right. Never mind, the Vikings. You know what I mean? Because we all love Vikings. So why would we ever say they're bad, right? It's not biased at all. I mean, it's like, none of it's biased. What are you talking about? None of this is biased. So that's too funny. Yeah, be creative. Don't be reactive. Yeah, exactly. Be pro. That's why I say, your life, you have to engage in it so that it goes in the direction you want it to go in. If you just sit there and it's not working, it's not happening, then it's because you're not involved, right? And it feels better. Yeah, it might take more work, might have to set an alarm. You might be more exhausted, might be busier than you want, but it's good in the end. Play the long game. Remember saying earlier, play the long game, not to live fast, die young, whatever. Vikings, yeah, that's cool. Germans are part of my heritage as far as I'm concerned too. So, yeah, I'm Scottish, Irish, German, French, Native American, Czechoslovakian. I think that was Nana and Grandpa Wolf. He was 100% Sioux, or so we all believe. I've never actually done an ancestry thing, but my mom just recently got one. she's telling me about it. She's all stoked. So she's like, I gotta send it in with my saliva, and then they're gonna give me my D. I'm like, all right, because he was on the res. He had a place on the res, and you can't be on the res unless you're native. So yeah, he was 100% Sioux, and Nana was Czechoslovakian, and then that's great grandma. So then German got in with grandma, so on and so forth, right? We're all mutts at the end of the day, or we will be. I think the funny joke comedian said one time is one day we're all going to be brown because the dominant traits, skin color or whatever, we're all going to, if we just keep going, one day we're all just going to be like the same color. I was cracking up. To Valhalla. Yeah, and I feel a lot of connection with Valhalla, and I think that's the Scottish and the Irish. Who knows? Who knows how far back it goes, right? But I've always loved Vikings. You see the movie, the show, the TV show on History Channel, so good with Ragnar. Oh my god, this is the greatest show I've ever seen. Is that my other favorite movie of all time, next to The Matrix? Yes. Okay, guys, love you. I'll see you next time. I'm out. Bye. I'm running away as fast as I can. See you. I'm not asking.